please rise? As we welcome the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Her Excellency Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan. Your Excellency, you may have a seat. Welcome to the State House in Dar es Salaam. It's a beautiful day, the 24th of January 2022, and we are happy to host the New Year Diplomatic SHEREHE Party. And with you today, Your Excellency the President, we are happy that we've been joined by Ambassador Liberata Mulamula, who is the Minister for Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation. And in front of you, Your Excellency, we also have members of the Diplomatic Corps, led by the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, who is the Ambassador of the Union of Comoros, Ambassador Ahmada Mohamed Faki. And this evening, to provide us with the welcoming remarks, Your Excellency, allow me to welcome Her Excellency, Honorable Liberata Mulamula, Minister for Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation. Karibu sana Balozi.
Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Your Excellency Hamada El Badoui Mohamed Faki, Ambassador of the Union of the Comoros and Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Your Excellency Ambassador Joseph Sokoine, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Ambassador Fatma Rajambu, Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished colleagues, heads of the Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation here present, honorary consuls, ladies and gentlemen. Na wasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Your Excellency, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, today is not a fitting occasion for me to deliver a speech. My task is simple and easy. I take the podium to extend, first of all, my deepest gratitude and appreciation to Your Excellency for inviting us to the State House for this SHEREHE Party, Diplomatic SHEREHE Party of the New Year. I thank members of the Diplomatic Corps for accepting the invitation to gather here this evening for this auspicious occasion. Allow me to wish you, though belatedly, a Happy New Year. Your Excellency, let me take this opportunity to recognize before you members of the diplomatic community here present. Later on, Your Excellency, you'll get the opportunity to greet them one by one, but allow me to introduce to you His Excellency Ahmada El Badoui Mohamed Faki, Ambassador of the Union of the Comoros and Dean of the Diplomatic Corps. Together with him, Your Excellency, There are 43 ambassadors and high commissioners, 19 heads of international organizations, 6 current charged affairs, 11 charged affairs representing the heads of missions here. Also present, Your Excellency, are the 12 honorary consuls representing various friendly countries around the world. Your Excellency, since assumption of your office, Your Excellency, you have received no less than 15 ambassadors and high commissioners. Your Excellency, also on your left is the ministry's team, headed by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation. I understand we also have the Secretary General of the East African Community. Karibu sana. Your Excellency, since this is my first time to speak before Your Excellency at a diplomatic Sherry party, allow me to thank you in the presence of this audience for the confidence you bestowed on me, appointing me as the Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation. I must confess that I feel honored to be your right-hand person in steering our foreign policy to greater heights. It will be a remiss of me not to thank Your Excellency for your deliberate decision to strengthen our ministry and the embassies abroad. I cannot thank you enough for appointing me, along with me, Ambassador Mbaruk Nasoro Mbaruk, the Deputy Minister who unfortunately had other duties in Zanzibar, for appointing Ambassador Fatuma Rajabu, for appointing Ambassador Joseph Sokoine, the Permanent Secretary, and Ambassador Fatuma Rajabu, Deputy Permanent Secretary, and the appointing heads of department, all career diplomats to lead the ministry. We thank you, Your Excellency, for appointing even further and posting 24 new ambassadors. About half of them are below 45 years of age. Also for enabling the embassy to deploy more than 137 officers to the various embassies present here abroad. In particular, I thank Your Excellency for your guidance and leadership, which has made me and my colleagues at the ministry to discharge our responsibilities effectively. I stand as a witness that just in your 10 months in the office, you have given, Excellency, our foreign policy a new breath. You have given us new wings, and you have given us a new life. We fly high. Your Excellency, since we assumed the office, we have diligently carried out your call to reach out to our friends and partners across the world and build good relations. We have been warmly welcomed everywhere we went or we have been. With your message of engagement and goodwill, no door was difficult to open and no request was turned down. Your Excellency, let me also say that since my appointment, I've had an opportunity to engage with members of the diplomatic community as a group, at the bilateral level, at the multilateral level. We held political dialogue with the European Union. We have celebrated together the African Day and national days. Excellencies, we have also coordinated a number of bilateral meetings with other ministries. And on behalf of the ministry, I would like to thank members of the Diplomatic Corps for their cooperation and support extended to us, and for the active and constructive engagement with the government and other stakeholders. Your Excellency, the international community, which is highly represented here by the diplomatic corps, has shown deep admiration to your leadership. That's what they share with me when we meet. In particular, your approach in addressing COVID-19 pandemic, your personal leadership in vaccine advocacy, your path toward democracy and rule of law, your commitment towards regionalism and multilateralism, your bold and unshaken resolve in undertaking social, political, and economic reforms, and your passion for addressing gender inequality and specifically promotion of women in leadership, and allowing pregnant girls to return to school upon delivery. Your strong leadership has been received positively, as evidenced by the response of many of our friends and partners to your robust economic and development agenda. It is seen in the decisions of many capitals on maintaining bilateral assistance, all uplifting even more, including funds and vaccines donations we have received so far, and that of the World Bank and IMF in supporting your efforts in cushioning our economy from the effect of COVID-19. Your Excellency, there have been also scores of calls, video calls, invitations, and visits that you have been receiving as a further testimony of these growing relations and confidence in your leadership. Your Excellency, I could go on and on to mention many achievements. However, in the interest of time, once again, allow me to thank Your Excellency for inviting us to the State House for this diplomatic SECO Sherry Party, and to thank the members of the Diplomatic Corps for their presence in big number this evening. And allow me, Excellency, before I end my remarks, to recognize, I call him my better half, Dr. George Mula in the room. As they say, behind any successful man, there is a woman. So if you could stand for recognition. Excellency, asante sana, nakushukuru, asante. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ambassador Liberata Mulamula, for those great welcome remarks. Your Excellency, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, kindly allow me to welcome the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, the Ambassador of the Union of Comoros, His Excellency Ahmada El Badoui Mohamed Faik, to give his remarks. Karibu sana. Please, a round of applause to him.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Avant de commencer, on se souviendra de cette salle, de l'ancien digne de Zimbabwe, de notre ministre des Affaires étrangères et du président Magufuli.
Before I start, vous pouvez répéter un peu, je m'excuse.
On se souviendra de l'ancien digne du corps diplomatique, ambassadeur de Zimbabwe, de l'ancien ministre des Affaires étrangères, Dr. Mahiga, et du président John Pombe Joseph Magufuli. Et j'invite l'ambassadeur Abu Ali de la Palestine et de Namibia pour une prière avant mon intervention.
May I invite His Excellency Ambassador of Tanzania, Mbita, and the ambassador from Namibia,
Ambassador of Palestine,
of
Abu
Palestine,
Ali,
for
and
a word
Namibia.
of Namibia for a word of prayer before we start.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Her Excellency Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the Republic of Tanzania, Excellency Minister Liberata Mulamula, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Excellencies, my brothers, I would like to start with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala indeed says that mankind is in loss apart from those who believed and who do good and beneficiary business for others, and those who recommended and advised themselves and others of haqq, which is truth, and advised and recommended each other with patience. May Almighty subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all of us the ability to be among those who advised each other with the truth and advised each other with patience. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Madam Mulamula, all Excellencies, let's bow our heads and pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the year you gave us. We thank you for the wonderful evening. We pray for the President, Samia Suluhu Hassan, that you lead and bless her with her team that is to build this beautiful country we call United Republic of Tanzania. We pray for those that have lost their loved ones. Comfort them and give them courage to move on. I pray that you bless Tanzania and her people. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, I pray. Amen.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم أما بعد. Excellence, Madame Samia Suluhu Hassan, Présidente de la République unie de la Tanzanie.
Your Excellency, Madame Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania.
Excellence, Madame l'ambassadrice Liberata Mulamula, ministre des Affaires étrangères et de la coopération.
Your Excellency, Liberata Mulamula, the Ambassador and the Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation.
Excellence, Ambassadeur Joseph Sokoni, secrétaire permanent aux Affaires étrangères.
Honorable Joseph Sokoine, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Affairs.
Excellence, Madame Fatima Rajab, Secrétaire générale adjoint aux Affaires étrangères.
Madame Fatma Rajab.
Ambassadeur Youssouf Mdolwa, chef protocole aux Affaires étrangères.
Balozi Yusufu Mdolwa, Chief of Protocol.
L'administration centrale du ministère des Affaires étrangères. L'administration centrale du ministère des Affaires étrangères.
The management of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Distingués invités.
Distinguished guests.
Mesdames et messieurs.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Je suis très heureux d'avoir eu ce privilège.
I'm very happy to have the privilege
de m'adresser à vous, Madame la Présidente,
of addressing you, Madam President,
au nom de tous mes collègues du corps diplomatique,
on behalf of all my colleagues of the diplomatic corps,
à l'occasion de cette double réception,
for this occasion of double reception,
marquant le nouvel an 2022,
marking the new year of 2022,
mais aussi la première dès que vous êtes présidente de la République unie de la Tanzanie.
but also being my first time to address you as the President of the United Republic of Tanzania.
Nous,
We,
diplomatic residents,
resident diplomats
et non-résidents,
and the non-resident diplomats
représentant nos différents pays
representing various countries
et organisations internationales,
and international organizations
voudront saisir cette opportunité
to take this opportunity
pour vous féliciter, Madame la Présidente,
in order to congratulate you, Madam President,
de la manière avec laquelle
the way you are
orientez la Tanzanie
orienting the nation of Tanzania
vers le chemin du développement,
toward the development,
de la lutte contre la corruption,
fighting against corruption,
la bonne gouvernance
good governance,
et le genre.
and gender.
Permettez-nous
Allow me
de vous féliciter, Madame la Présidente,
to congratulate you, Madam President,
d'avoir donné
for having
un éclat particulier au 60e anniversaire de la République unie de la Tanzanie.
for giving a particular glow during the 60th anniversary of the independence of Tanzania,
Qui nous a permis
which have allowed us
de mesurer à juste titre
to see
son évolution
the evolution
depuis le père de l'indépendance jusqu'à nos jours.
since you have the independence up now.
Cependant,
However,
Madame la Présidente,
Madam President,
connaissant vos soucis
knowing your concerns
et vos engagements personnels
and the personal commitment
pour améliorer les conditions
to
de vie,
improve the lives of Tanzanians,
nous saluons vos efforts
we salute your tireless efforts
pour parvenir à des résultats avec un temps record.
to achieve these achievements promptly.
Madame la Présidente,
Madam President,
permettez-moi aussi
allow me also
d'illustrer quelques points forts qui ont marqué le travail effectué depuis que vous êtes présidente.
to illustrate some of the key points that have marked the work done since you became president.
La gestion du Covid-19,
The pandemic of COVID-19
maintenir l'équilibre socio-économique et politique du pays,
had deteriorated the social and the political economic situation of the countries,
redonner l'image internationale de la Tanzanie
change the image international of Tanzania,
par vos déplacements
but since you began
au niveau régional et international. In the region and international visits.
ça va aussi.
Réception des divers émissaires provenant d'horizons différents.
You have you maintained the socio-economic and the political situation of Tanzania. You have received various envoys from various horizons over the world.
Ces activités
These activities,
contribuent à témoigner
they continue to witness
de la stabilité
the stability
et la paix
of the peace
que votre pays
which your country
a toujours connue
has continued to experience every day.
et par conséquent
As a result of that,
attirer des investisseurs dans le pays
has attracted most of investors in our country,
qui vont améliorer,
which are going to improve,
j'en suis certain,
I'm very sure,
la vie économique,
the economic life,
sociale
social life,
et surtout la création d'emplois
and above all, creating jobs
aux jeunes diplômés,
to the young graduates,
aux femmes
women,
qui représentent un taux considérable de la population.
which are making the highest number of population of the population of Tanzanians.
Nous constatons le changement. Nous constatons le changement.
We understand the achievement,
mais les défis restent nombreux.
but still there are challenges.
Madame la Présidente,
Madam President,
le soutien de la communauté diplomatique
the support of the diplomatic community
à vos efforts
to your efforts
et ceux de votre gouvernement
toward your government
est à tenir compte pour vous accompagner à relever le défi auquel vous êtes assigné.
they should be taken into account to mitigate the challenges you have faced.
Madame la Présidente,
Madam President,
je voudrais vous exprimer
I want to express to you
notre appréciation
our appreciations
auprès de votre gouvernement
to your government,
et aux citoyens
even
de votre beau pays
even the citizens of your country,
pour le soutien,
for the support,
l'amitié,
friendship,
l'hospitalité
hospitality,
qui nous a été offert
which they have given us
pour faciliter notre mission
in order to facilitate our mission,
et nous sentir chez nous.
and we feel at home.
Comme vous le savez, Madame la Présidente,
As you know, Madam President,
dans le cercle diplomatique,
in this diplomatic circles,
le plus grand rêve de tout ambassadeur
the greatest dream of any ambassador
est de voir son chef d'État visiter son pays
is to see the head of state visiting his country
et réaliser la commission mixte avec son pays d'accréditation.
and carry out the joint commission with his country of accreditation.
Je suis convaincu
I'm sure
que beaucoup de vos envoyés
That-
dans beaucoup de pays dans le monde
that many of your envoys in many countries
attendent ce jour.
are waiting for this day,
Par conséquent,
and therefore,
mes collègues
my colleagues
qui ont reçu leur président ici en Tanzanie
who have received their president here in Tanzania,
et qui étaient reçus par vous-même
and who were received by you personally,
expriment leur reconnaissance
express their gratitude
et vous remercient
and thank you
d'avoir rehaussé leur carrière.
for enhancing their careers.
Je suis convaincu,
I'm sure
au nom de mes collègues,
that on behalf of all my colleagues,
nous sommes disposés
we are ready
à soutenir vos initiatives, Madame la Présidente,
to support your initiatives, Madam President,
qui demanderont notre apport.
that will require our input.
Il s'agit de la lutte contre la corruption,
It is the fight against corruption,
la prospérité du peuple tanzanien
the prosperity of the people of Tanzania
à travers l'industrialisation,
through industrialization,
la création d'emplois
job creation,
et s'assurer qu'ils bénéficient de la richesse.
and assuring that they will benefit from the wealth and the riches of this country.
Nous sommes aussi disposés, Madame la Présidente,
We are ready, Madam President,
à vous accompagner
to accompany you
pour renforcer les capacités
in order to strengthen the capacities
dont vous avez besoin
which you need
pour atteindre vos objectifs.
in order to meet your objectives.
Enfin,
Finally,
Madame la Présidente,
Madam President,
qu'il me soit permis,
allow me,
au nom de mes collègues,
on behalf of my colleagues,
de présenter nos félicitations
to present my congratulations
à Madame l'ambassadrice Liberata Mulamula,
to Madam Ambassador Liberata Mulamula,
ministre des Affaires étrangères
Minister of Foreign Affairs
et de la coopération,
and International Cooperations,
qui a nettement
for the cooperation which clearly
et amélioré,
had improved,
dynamisé, giving strong
making strong
la communication
the communication
entre son département
between her department
et le corps diplomatique d'une part,
and the part of diplomatic corps,
mais aussi avec les autres ministères
and again with the other ministries,
pour renforcer
for strengthening
la coopération bilatérale
the bilateral cooperation
avec nos pays respectifs.
with our respective countries.
Je voudrais lui renouveler,
I would like to,
Madame la Présidente, le soutien et la coopération de la communauté diplomatique, Madame la Ministre.
I would like to thank her for the strengthening for strengthening the diplomatic cooperation.
Pour conclure,
In conclusion,
Madame la Présidente,
Madam President,
la communauté diplomatique
the diplomatic community
demande votre soutien
want your support
pour la mise en application
in order
d'une façon effective
in order to cooperate in an effective way,
but also for the VAT.
but also for the VAT.
The VAT.
VAT.
We never get it in Tanzania, and we request your support, Madam President. Naishi Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan, na nchi ya Tanzania, vive la coopération internationale, asante sana, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause to the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps. Your Excellency Ahmadiyya Mohammed Faki, thank you so much for those great remarks. Your Excellency, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, we've heard from the Minister, we've also heard from the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, and now the members of the Diplomatic Corps are ready to hear from you. We're all excited. Please put your hands together for the President of the United Republic of Tanzania.
Please be seated. Honorable Ambassador Mulamula, Minister for Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Your Excellency Ahmada El Badaouni Mohamed Faki, Ambassador of the Union of Comoros and Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Excellencies, heads of diplomatic missions and international organizations, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Since we are meeting here for the first time in this setting, I welcome you all to the State House. I thank you for accepting my invitation to attend this traditional event to commemorate the end of 2021 and welcoming the year 2022. I know I've met you, some of you, in some other occasions, but this is the first time we meet all together. It is my hope that I will have an opportunity to continue meeting all of you again as the year progresses. So, yes. In any case, I'm gratified by the continued cooperation and mutual understanding that exists between us. We have witnessed outstanding levels of cooperation in the year 2021, and I thank each of you for playing your part to ensure that our relations are strengthened and nurtured. I'm particularly grateful for the support you accorded us through your participation during our 60 years of anniversary of Tanganyika. As a country, a lot has been achieved, but we still know more needs to be done, and we count on your unwavering support to ensure more development targets are attained. As for those of you who joined diplomatic community recently, I hope you have settled down and have a good stay in our country. I wish to assure you of my personal cooperation and that of my government in facilitating your duties while you are here. Let me extend my best wishes for the new year to you all, and through you to your heads of state and government, heads of respective institutions, your people, as well as your spouse and staffs. Excellencies, the year 2021 was one of the tragic years to our nation. For the first time in our history, we lost a sitting president, the late Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, who passed away on 17th March 2021. In line with our constitutional provision, as then the Vice President of my dear country, I ascended to presidency in a very peaceful transition. On one hand, and on behalf of the people of the United Republic of Tanzania and myself, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to you all for the outpouring and overwhelming messages of condolences that you shared with us. On the other hand, allow me to thank you all for the flurry of congratulatory messages I received after assuming the presidency. Taking the mantle of leadership under such hasty circumstances, I needed all the best wishes to take on challenging but certainly surmountable role. After assuming the presidency, I outlined my motto, which is stability, continuity, and change, and the following have been my priorities. Number one, strengthening democracy, good governance, and rule of law. Number two, transformation and simplification of tax collection and tax administration systems. Number three, working closely with the private sector and enhance public-private partnership. Number four, managing and maintaining economic growth and industrialization. Number five, promoting investments in the country and improving business environment. Number six, continuation of investment in infrastructure and social support services in order to improve the lives of our people. Number seven, improving bilateral, regional, and multilateral cooperation. And number eight, protecting the environment and harnessing the benefits of the blue economy. Excellencies, members of the diplomatic community, in the essence of time, today I will only give a brief synopsis of few areas, and let me start with political situation and democratic space. Tanzania has continued to enjoy peace, stability, and tranquility in all spheres of life, be it political, economic, social, or cultural. This situation has provided the government with the opportunity to focus its efforts on strengthening the economy as well as improving social being of our people. In our efforts to enhance democracy, my government has continued to allow freedom of expression through mass media. Furthermore, the Registrar of Political Parties organized a meeting from 15th to 17th December last year in Dodoma. All political parties and other stakeholders were invited for a brainstorming session to collect views on how best to improve democratic situation in the country. The parties were free to express their concerns, and their final recommendations have been finalized and put together. A follow-up committee has been established to work on the recommendations, and we in the government are waiting for their report to chart the way forward. Talking on COVID-19 pandemic, we are meeting at a time when the world is still grappling with the effects of COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic, which has brought major world economies to their knees and has not spared ours either. To a developing country like Tanzania, whose health sector was already demanding betterment, COVID-19 has not only put a huge burden on it, but also has exacerbated economic and environmental crisis, as well as disruption on demand and supply chain in all fronts. We were stuck in the twilight of protecting lives and livelihoods. We did not impose lockdowns, but our GDP growth was below 5%, compelling us to undertake several measures, including joining the COVAX facility and to leverage COVID recovery stimulus packages from both multilateral and bilateral sources to keep our economy abreast. Excellencies, as a country, we will continue to adhere to the WHO guidelines and protocols in the fight against COVID-19, and we will enhance our inoculation campaign. I'm aware of the advent of new variants of the virus, which call for global concerted efforts in terms of vaccine distribution to match their advent. The vaccine inequality we're experiencing is having negative effects to most of our developing economies because as the world begins to get on its feet and open up, our unvaccinated patriots continue to face all kinds of stigma when they travel overseas. Our countries are put on red list zones, thus missing out on important revenues accruing from tourism. It is my humble request that through you today, your countries and institutions will invoke the multilateralism spirit by ensuring vaccine equity and waiving of vaccine patents to ensure that we can afford to produce the vaccines in our home countries. Leaving major part of the world population unvaccinated is a major injustice to humanity because no one is safe until everyone is safe. Meanwhile, it is equally important to know that progress has been made in the health sector in general. We increased the budget of this sector from Tanzania shilling 933.3 billion in 2020 to 1.07 trillion in 2021. At the same time, we allocated 42% of the COVID funds to health sector. Such efforts have enabled us to build and equip health delivery centers and dealing with diseases. There were, in addition to the employment of the new doctors, nurses, and other professionals in 2021. Excellencies, on economic sector, from January to September 2021, our economy grew at a rate of 4.9% compared to 4.8% at the same period in the year 2020, and 7% in 2019. You can see the drop from 7% to presently 4.9%. Like elsewhere, the drop was caused by the COVID-19 outbreak that hit the world. However, the outbreak looks promising as most of the macroeconomic indicators are improving. The inflation rate has remained within the target of 3 to 5% for 2021-2022, and it is in this line, it is in line with the East African Community and Southern African Development convergence criteria. The overall lending rates are averaged at 16.40%, decreasing from 16.65% and 16.61% respectively in 2020 and 2019. However, the negotiated lending rates or lending rates charged to prime customers remained unchanged at around 14%. In reviving our COVID-hit economy, we injected the recovery stimulus package. We remain grateful to the IMF for the soft loan of US $467.3 million, which were injected in areas that directly impacted the socio-economic livelihood of our people, to recover areas that were badly hit by the pandemic, such as tourism sector. To ensure transparency and accountability, I publicly declared how the government planned to spend the funds. A significant amount of the fund was injected in key areas of education, health, and water, as they form an important part in the fight against COVID-19 and other communicable diseases. With the onset of the rollover of the COVID-19 vaccines, trade and transportation activities have reopened. I'm happy that things are taking good shape at this time. On the investment outlook, we continue to make efforts to improve business environment by strengthening our laws, guidelines, and practices to encourage and preserve investments. Investment generates jobs, capital, and tax revenue to our country. For instance, in 2021, our investment center registered 256 new projects, which were expected to generate 53,025 jobs and 3.749 billion capital. In the education sector, we have continued to offer free education for all from primary to secondary school levels. However, with free education comes the challenges of classrooms to accommodate the high enrollment rates. Therefore, we endeavor to ensure that all children are accommodated by constructing a total of 15,000 classrooms, of which 3,000 for primary schools and 12,000 for secondary schools, to decongest our classrooms and ensure all school-age children are admitted. Meanwhile, we were also able to hire 6,949 teachers for primary and secondary schools, but our challenges still lies in hiring more teachers, getting more textbooks and laboratory equipment, as well as other teaching and learning materials in our schools. As for the tertiary education, we have increased the budget for higher education students or students' loans from Tanzania shilling 467 billion in 2020-21 to Tanzania shilling 570 billion in 2021-2022, which has led to an increase of the number of beneficiaries from 149,389 for the year 2020-21 to 176,617 in the year 2021-22, including 70,396 new ones. In ensuring an all-inclusive development agenda, we have reinstated our girls who dropped out of school due to pregnancy to resume their education. We are cognizant that without free, inclusive, and quality education to our people, our industrialization agenda remains elusive. We are on track on goal number 4 on the Sustainable Development Goals. May I take this opportunity to appeal for increased support and cooperation in our endeavors to ensure provision of quality education for our people. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we remain on track for the construction of of the flagship infrastructure project that were initiated by my predecessor. These are roads, railway networks, air and water transport, and mega energy projects, some of which got encouraged support from your countries and for which we appreciate so much. Just to give you a brief overview, we have made tremendous progress in the construction of tarmac roads network, implementation of rural electrification program being undertaken by the Rural Energy Agency. As of December 31st, 2021, there were 8,654 electrified villages, which is 70.1% of all the villages in the country. We hope to electrify 9,698 villages by June 2022, which accounts to 78.4%. Other efforts on electrification programs in progress, including peri-urban and denification, A and B, which involves the electrification of hamlets. We have also continued strengthening our airline fleet by the purchase of 1 cargo plane, as well as the acquisition of 8 water vessels, which will be distributed equally to each part of the Union to spearhead the blue economy. I want to specifically thank IFAD for their help and guidance in the acquisition of these vessels. On another note, the construction of the standard gauge railway is also advancing. Lot 1 and 2 are almost done, and we have commenced the construction of 368 kilometers of Lot 3 from Makutupora to Tabora, where we have already made advance payment. 164 kilometers from Tabora to Isaka, which is Lot 4, whereby the procurement process is ongoing. Construction of 341 kilometers from Mwanza to Isaka of Lot 5 is ongoing, and we are at 4% of construction. We are equally on progress on the construction of Julius Nyerere Hydropower Project, which is one of our core energy source in our industrialization drive. The dam is set to produce 2,115 megawatts, and so far, construction is at 53.2%. I'm taking keen interest on this project, not only for its economic viability, but also for its contribution to the preservation of our environment. Upon completion, the project will significantly contribute to the achievement of our ambitious national determined contribution, whereby we committed to reduce emission between 30 to 35% by 2030, which is equivalent to 138 to 153 million tons of carbon. We committed ourselves to such an ambitious NDC because we are already experiencing the negative effects of climate change, especially a change in our rain patterns, causing dry spells, which threaten the livelihood of our livestock, food shortages, and erratic climate effects, such as floods, rising temperatures, and sea level siltation, and others. I want to assure you that we are monitoring the situation closely, and there is no cause for early alarm, as we have sufficient food reserve in case this shortage threatens overall food security. In terms of erratic climate effects, we have authorities to keep us on alert on the negative effects. It remains our hope that developed countries will raise above rhetoric in this matter and move swiftly and urgently to fulfill their financial commitments by unlocking climate finance and implement technology transfers that will trigger our planned targets for combating climate change. Excellencies, talking on bilateral cooperation, as a resource-constrained nation, isolationism is not a foreign policy option for us. We are fully aware of the limits of our capacity to implement these priorities. We therefore take partnership with our friends and allies very seriously, as they afford us with meaningful headways in the implementation of our development agenda. In that regard, I'm pleased of the progress we are making in fostering bilateral cooperation with each of your countries. And on regional cooperation, fostering regionalism is one of the key tenets of our foreign policy. We place firm belief on the role of regional and sub-regional organizations to address regional challenges and attain collective developmental aspiration in areas of peace and security, democracy, trade and investment, infrastructural and social sectors. It is for this reason, and of course other considerations, that during the EAC Virtual Summit in December 2021, we agreed in principle on the admission of the Democratic Republic of Congo as the 7th member of the regional bloc. We believe that the inclusion of DRC would be beneficial to our integration. In the same spirit, I'm glad to have taken the mantle of leadership at a time when the region is relatively peaceful, save for some pockets, such as the situation in Mozambique. As you may be aware, Tanzania is part of the SADC mission, mandated by the extraordinary SADC summit that took place in Maputo on 23 June 2021, where we have contributed troops to Mozambique. Good progress has been made since the deployment of the SADC mission in Mozambique, and SAMIM's mandate has been extended for 3 more months. Excellencies, trade is a very important building block for regional integration. As a nation, we continue to take various steps to remove impediments to trade with our regional allies. Ratification of the African Continental Free Trade Area by our Parliament is an important step in joining other African nations in the creation of a single African market of 100.2 billion consumers with a total GDP of US $3.4 trillion, which will effectively make Africa the largest free trade area in the world. On foreign policy review, we are on the final stage of revising our foreign policy to reflect the changes and new developments in the world while taking into account the existing good elements. The new policy will continue to focus on economic diplomacy and reflect on new developments such as blue economy, environment and climate change, digital economy, promoting Kiswahili as a tool for diplomacy and trade and diaspora engagement in the national development. We welcome the decision by UNESCO to adopt and commemorate World Kiswahili Language every 7th July. We are grateful for all those who supported this resolution. It means a lot to us because Kiswahili is not only a tool for everyday communication, but a beacon for shared cultural identities, historical values, and visions. We remain committed to work tirelessly to extend its use and continue inspiring the world with the rich values of the language. It is my sincere hope that the review of the policy will be a major step towards catalyzing our relationship in key areas of cooperation and partnerships across multiple sectors of the economy. We continue our mutual cooperation with your governments at the international fora, as we're counting on your support and cooperation on issues of particular interest to our country and continent. Excellencies, you are aware that all government ministries, most departments and agencies have now moved to Dodoma. I understand that all diplomatic missions in Tanzania have been allocated sites to construct your missions as well as residences. I want to assure you that my government will continue to invest in the development of the necessary infrastructure to ensure all necessary services are readily accessed in the city. I urge you to utilize the investment opportunities available in the capital. I assure you that we have made efforts to warrant ease of doing business and creating a conducive environment free from bottlenecks like nuisance taxes, investment unfriendly policies, and loosening restrictions that limits growth of business and discouraging investment. Your Excellencies, or Your Excellency, the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Excellencies, heads of diplomatic mission, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, allow me to reassure you of my own commitment and that of my government in enhancing the existing cooperation and partnership with you and your dear countries and organizations. It is my sincere hope that you will continue to carry out your tasks in strict adherence to the diplomatic protocols and guidelines to take our relations scale to greater heights. Once again, I wish you, your countries and organizations, along with your families and staff, a happy and prosperous New Year 2022, and I hope this year will bring more peace and prosperity, healthier and happier life. Let us toast. Do you have your glasses? Then we'll toast when we have our dinner. That's where we are going to toast. So I thank you for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, for those great words. Even while you're seated, please, another round of applause. Your Excellency, the President, as you've just encouraged us that we will have a toast on the other side, before we do that, we have two activities. So we will have a photo session, but before that, we will have members of the Diplomatic Corps come and greet you one by one. And I would like to encourage your members, when you come forward, we will have 4 photographs taken outside. The first photograph will have all ambassadors and high commissioners. And then the second one, we will have SHEREHE. The third photograph will have representatives of international organizations. And then the fourth photograph will be honorary consuls. And last but not least, members of management from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation. So I understand all the members of the diplomatic corps understand the order. And I'm looking at Her Excellency. Yes, she's ready. She is ready to meet you all. So we have a black mark. So we are going to encourage you to stand there when you're meeting Her Excellency, the Dean. Karibu sana. And then we will all follow in the same order. Thank you so much.
Aga. Aga.
Tanzania yetu.
Tanzania wangu ni muungano wetu, tofauti zetu zisibadili kitu.
Utanzania wangu ni muungano wetu, na tofauti zetu zisibadili kitu.
Tulinde, tudumishe, tulinde Utanzania. Tulinde, tudumishe, tulinde Tanzania.
Kasejas Pre and Primary School wanakutangazia mzazi au mlezi nafasi za masomo kwa mtoto wako anayeanza shule ya awali darasa la kwanza hadi darasa la 7. Shule imesajiliwa na serikali kwa namba EA na EM 17538 na ni ya kutwa kwa watoto wa jinsia zote wanaoanzia umri wa miaka 2 na kuendelea. Mlete mwanao Kasejas Pre and Primary School, kwani walimu ni mahiri na waliobobea katika taaluma ya ufundishaji na malezi bora kwa mtoto wako. Ada ni nafuu sana na unaruhusiwa kulipa kwa awamu 3. Tupo kata ya Msongola, halmashauri ya manispaa ya Ilala, jijini Dar es Salaam. Kwa maelezo zaidi piga simu nambari 0655 010377 au 0718 806108. Mwahishe mwanao Kasejas Pre and Primary School.
Thank you. Asante. Thank you. Thank you. Asante.
walishatuambia kwamba sisi ni ndugu na tubidi kupendana, sikutengana ni kosa kubaguana. Tanzania naona shangu na ijua skita frani sijui ghasia naona shida mnazikuwa na shimoja toka nazaliwa toka nazelewa na mshangaza kili zako napokusudia kujawa. Tanzania runs an attraction. Nadhuru kwenye kaburi la babu yendo analia nyeusi za kwa nyekundu bendera ya Tanzania. Wasisi wakitoa machozi umekufunulia. Oh my God, nafuata wosia waliokushia.
Thank you. Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you. Asante. Asante. Thank you.
Kasejes Pre and Primary School wanakutangazia mzazi au mlezi nafasi za masomo kwa mtoto wako anayeanza shule ya awali darasa la kwanza hadi darasa la 7. Shule imesajiliwa na serikali kwa namba EA na EM 17538 na ni ya kutwa kwa watoto wa jinsia zote wanaoanzia umri wa miaka 2 na kuendelea. Mlete mwanao Kasejes Pre and Primary School, kwani walimu ni mahiri na waliobobea katika taaluma ya ufundishaji na malezi bora kwa mtoto wako. Ada ni nafuu sana na unaruhusiwa kulipa kwa awamu 3. Tupo kata ya Msongola, halmashauri ya manispaa ya Ilala, jijini Dar es Salaam. Kwa maelezo zaidi piga simu nambari 0655 010377 au 0718 806108. Mwahishe mwanao Kasejes Pre and Primary School.
Asante. Asante. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you very much, Madam President. Please, a round of applause to the President. We thank you so much. I think you'll take a brief break, and then members from the Foreign Ministry, you can head out as she takes her seat so that you're ready for the next session of photos.
Kasejes Pre and Primary School wanakutangazia mzazi au mlezi nafasi za masomo kwa mtoto wako anayeanza shule ya awali darasa la kwanza hadi darasa la 7. Shule imesajiliwa na serikali kwa namba EA na EM 17538 na ni ya kutwa kwa watoto wa jinsia zote wanaoanzia umri wa miaka 2 na kuendelea. Mlete mwanao Kasejes Pre and Primary School kwani walimu ni mahiri na waliobobea katika taaluma ya ufundishaji na malezi bora kwa mtoto wako. Ada ni nafuu sana na unaruhusiwa kulipa kwa awamu 3. Tupo kata ya Msongola, halmashauri ya manispaa ya Ilala, jijini Dar es Salaam. Kwa maelezo zaidi piga simu nambari 0655 010377 au 0718 806108. Mwahishe mwanao Kasejes Pre and Primary School.